So you're telling me that the US government doesn't have enough money to cancel student loan debt, something that is suffocating an entire generation of Americans, nor does it have enough money to get our homeless off the streets or to feed the starving children in our schools, but it has enough fucking money to help fund a genocide of the Palestinian people? My fucking tax dollars? My tax dollars. Really?
We can't afford to pay our teachers. We can't afford to pay our nurses. We can't afford to pay our hospitality workers. We can't afford to pay our auto workers. We can't afford to shift to green energy. We can't afford affordable housing. We can't afford universal education. We can't afford insulin, even though the patent was sold for $1. We can't afford to fix our homelessness problem. We can't afford to fix our electrical grid. We can't afford to forgive student loan debts. We can't afford to subsidize our education system or childcare. We can't afford maternity or paternity leave. We can't afford ensuring that no child goes hungry, even though we constantly throw away food. We can't afford to ensure every American has access to clean water. We can't afford to fix our roads or our electrical grids or our bridges. We can't afford a livable wage. We can't afford to work one job, and we definitely can't afford universal health care. But we can always afford violence.
This is a picture of somebody who's suffering from shell shock syndrome, a precursor to PTSD that usually occurs in people who have experienced an extremely traumatic event, such as a missile strike or the detonation of a bomb. And this is a Palestinian child who is suffering from shell shock syndrome because of Israel's nonstop bombing campaign of the Gaza Strip that's been going on over the past few days. This is the result of billions and billions of dollars of U.S. taxpayer money to Israel every year. It's time for people to mute the corporate media and stand up for the Palestinian people who are being subjected to an apartheid by the Israelis. This is a crime against humanity, and it needs to be stopped.
This Christian hospital was just bombed in Gaza. Hundreds of casualties from this one bombing. And Israel says, oh, it's not us. It's not us. You know what else they're doing? Look at this.
I'm currently in an undisclosed location with the IDF on the front lines of what they're calling a war on terror. Behind the camera are an entire row of bulldozers as they intend to level entire city blocks as they go. They say it's a war on terror, but they intend to leave nothing behind.
That's my friend Photo Steve G81. He is literally on the ground in Israel. They are going to exterminate the Palestinian people. They are going to exterminate the Palestinian people. They don't want to leave anything behind. What Hamas did, terrorist action. What Israel is doing, terrorist action. They're both bad. There's no good. These are war crimes on both sides. But it doesn't mean that we can keep perpetuating war crimes. And by the way, America's funding this. We've been funding this since the beginning. To every Christian that thinks this is okay, you are not a Christian. Eradicating the Palestinian people is not in the Bible. Jesus does not want this. But what do you guys think about this? Honestly, what do you guys think?
Israel and the United States have already lost this war. And let me tell you what I mean. And I'm just going to be brutally fucking honest with you, all right? I don't mean to offend anybody, but I'm just going to be brutally fucking honest with you. Before this situation happened, my opinion of the Israel versus Palestine issue is that Israel was the good guys and everybody was trying to kill them. And they were surrounded by a bunch of Arab terrorists in all these different countries. And the people in Gaza and the West Bank were mostly terrorists, Muslim terrorists who just wanted to kill all the Jewish people, or they were protecting terrorists, one or the other, okay? That was my knowledge. That has what has been fed to me in the United States of America for the 54 years of my life. Now, I have educated myself on the situation. I know about the Nakba and Tantura. I know about the Israeli PR firm of Hasbara. I mean, I've now started to educate myself on this stuff. I've said to myself, why is all this happening? And so I learned about the 1953 CIA coup toppling the government of Iran, and then how that sparked the Iranian Revolution in 1979, which basically that it was the foundation of terror as we know it in the Middle East, right? we've learned about all of these things, okay? And we've learned that the United States funds 16% of Israel's military budget. Israel, with their free healthcare for all, we give them billions and billions of dollars for bombs. We have learned so much in this conflict because the information is here in places like TikTok. And I hate to say this, but it's true. The only thing that is going to change this conflict is the horror of Western people like me right now that are seeing this and saying, holy fuck. But you have to understand something. We're just getting to this spot right now. And what we're seeing is that the Palestinian people have been undergoing this for 75 years. This is no different than anything else that they've gone through for 75 years. Entire generations. Okay? What's different about it this time? Westerners are finally speaking up. And unfortunately, that's the only thing the Palestinians can do to get their message out to the world, because the Zionist Israelis have they have a hold on the information networks and always have. That has now disappeared. And they're still trying desperately to frame the narrative on social media, but now people are seeing through it. Now we have things like TikTok where we can screenshot Israel's statements that they put out where they claim that they did bomb the hospital, and then we can see them delete them, and then we can see them come up with a new one that's this is a video, and then we can prove that the video is fake, and then we can follow everything that's happening. All we got to do is open our eyes and start looking, okay? And so this is what's going to happen. Israel's money is going to dry up from the United States. Right now, there's one thing that unites Democrat and Republican politicians and media in the United States, and that is the support for Israel. That's what it is. Unfucking believable that there's nothing else that Republicans and Democrats are aligned on. America is in bed with the Zionist Jewish lobby. And we see that now, and we are going to dry that motherfucking funding up, let me tell you. It may seem like, we've been trying to do this for years and years and years and years, but it just never works. Yeah, it's going to work now because white people like myself are finally fucking telling the story of the Palestinian people. That's what's going to fucking happen. And it's gross. It's disgusting that that's what it takes. But it's here. And we are going to fucking hold them accountable. Like, I'm telling you right now, I've made a solemn fucking promise to myself and here vocally on TikTok. I will never vote for another politician under any circumstances who supports the funding of Israel. Period. And I'm just one guy with a small platform. But let me tell you, there's more of me and more of me and more of me. And I'm going to keep educating people, and they're going to keep educating people. And we're all going to just fucking say, we will no longer vote for anybody who funds Israel. And I'm telling you, when that fucking happens, the state of Israel that you know of today will cease to exist. It will either adapt and make peace, or it will be destroyed because they won't have any fucking money anymore. Because the only reason Israel is alive today is because of America's money. Period. That's the reality of the situation. And so how do I see this ending? Not only with a marked change in what Israel is right now, but the freedom of the Palestinian people. And then I see this influencing many, many, many other revolutions across the world, just like the American Revolution did, right? That's what's going to happen. People are waking up, and I can't wait for it.